Turned out to be fucking amazing. And life changer. Really a great day. And honestly, I fucked that faucet for 1.5 years. Now, I'm trying to be honest and open. I'll get to the point of this. Then at some point, someone tells you what that feeling is. Maybe you got a kid who has an older brother, or somebody finds a porno magazine, or you find your parents' copy of A Joyous Sex hidden in a mattress, and you can look at fairly realistic renditions of hippies fucking. And once someone informs you that that feeling comes from putting your penis into a vagina, that just fucking changes your entire neural pathway issue. And it's sort of all you think about is putting your penis in a vagina from age 13 to like this morning. This is truth. It's all you fucking think about because it's amazing. Like, you know, I was sort of surprised when I learned about it, you know, because there was part of me that was like, when I was told about the vagina, I was like, really, it's not water? You know, like, so like, and it honestly seemed much more complicated, which I believe it to this day is true. But once you know, man, it's all, you just want to be in the vagina. And that's the problem, you know, especially for my generation of men, I think, because I really think that a lot of us didn't really realize in a deep way that women had hopes or dreams or supportive friends, family, things they wanted to do. Those were really just hurdles, you know, to try to put it in the vagina. Just wanted to put it in the vagina. So, like, so the way I'm going to try to help is, like, I think a lot of men have the vagina too far up front in their head still, and I think that's not really acceptable, and I think it's at the core of a lot of disrespect. I mean, you know, if you have vagina way up front, you know, women know now it's not good. It's not a good look. It's not a good way to be. Like, you know, you don't have to hug Vicky every day at work. She knows what's up. It's awkward. You know, the weird rubbing the back thing in the break room. What is that? That's not sociable. It's fucking creepy, you know? I would just stop it. You got to move vagina back. Because women can see it now. Vagina's right there. It's, you know, it's disrespectful. It's insensitive. Move it back a few. Maybe, you know, 3 to 5 spaces in your brain. Just move it back, you know. Maybe 3. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe just like, hey, how's it going? Are you okay? Vagina. You know, like maybe 3's good. I don't know, I'm just trying to help out. 3 to 5, I think. Fill the gap with niceness and, you know, and empathy. It's hard for men to empathize for women because we're not women, and we have to, you know, listen and, you know, just, you can do it. You can do it. But don't be overly crazy. You know, like I've actually found myself occasionally asking for consent in my masturbation fantasies, which I think is too much. Where I'm literally like, are you sure you want to fuck? And she's like, yeah, you're making this up. Yeah, I want to fuck. Just checking. You want to fuck? Yeah, I want to fuck you bad. Okay, I'm just checking. You know, we're on the same page. Weird time now, you know? And I did just see you at Whole Foods for like 30 seconds, so I don't think it's an inappropriate question. Yeah, just fuck me already. So we're fucking, and it's going great. I'm making it up. It's awesome. It's fucking amazing. Totally connected, symbiotic, fucking in it. Just beautiful. And in the middle of it, she just, you know, pushes me off her and says, get off of me. You're freaking me out. And I'm like, what's happening? She's like, I don't feel safe. You're creepy now. Holy shit. What is happening? And then she's getting dressed fast, and she's about to tweet something. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Not an unreasonable question. But the deeper question is, why am I still jerking off to that? You know, like I had complete control over that fantasy, and it got away from me because of my own fear. And I finished by myself, jerking off to me, jerking off, crying that my career would be ruined. So I'm just saying, you know, don't go crazy. You know, just be nice. You know, that's the message. Look, you guys, I'll share some other tips with you. Like, you know, I was talking about being terrified all the time, and I think a lot of us are, and I don't know. Getting through it is tricky, like I said before, but I also apply some intentional OCD. Like, in lieu of spirituality, I think OCD functions pretty well. Like if you have a few things that you do compulsively over and over again, you know, that'll get you through the day. That'll fill the God hole. It's okay. You know, it gets a little dicey that half hour before you fall asleep, but you know, just, you know what to do, right? You know, you do, whatever, either way, however you do it, you know. I don't want to be gender specific, you know. That's how you fill that last half hour. Whatever you got to do. It's a gift. It's a gift. But yeah, but I'll do compulsive shit. If a news day is really bad and I'm freaking out, I will do chores that are unnecessary. Like a couple months ago, I went through my box of wires. I went through my entire box of wires. Everybody who's been buying equipment for the last 20 years, you got a pretty good bag or box of cables, chargers, and whatnot going, right? Like I went through, because like every piece of equipment you buy comes with that one wire where you're like, what the fuck does this one even do? Does this even go to this machine? I don't know. It's all wrapped and it's got a twisty on it. Better save it. Maybe I'll know what it does later. I might need it. Right? I went through that entire box. It took me like an hour and a half. Did not think about the end of the world during that time. And honestly, I did not throw one of those things away. I had the exact same experience with every one of those wires I had when I got it in the first place. Oh yeah, this one. Still don't know what it does, but still wrapped. It's got a twisty on it. Maybe the mystery is yet to be revealed. I'm gonna save that one. And now I'm pretty happy that I did, because I don't know what's gonna happen on that last day of the planet Earth when the sky's on fire. Maybe some guy will come running up my driveway in a frenzy, holding a piece of equipment saying, hey man, if I had a charger for this, I could save both of us right now. Right now. And I could be like, holy shit, might be our lucky day. Let's go look in the box, bro. And who would have thunk a Palm Pilot would be our ticket out of this mess? Because not only do I have a charger, I think I've got an extra stylus. Would the stylus help us in our journey? For you younger people, a Palm Pilot was one of the first pieces of handheld technology with a screen on it, an interactive screen it had. Like, pretend like I'm showing you. And there was no Wi-Fi or cell phone, and you could write on the screen with a stylus, like a little pen. And I believe, if I'm not remembering incorrectly, that you had to write in Palm Pilot shorthand, which was enough for me to stop using it after 3 days. Oh, I gotta learn a thing, not for me. So, but nonetheless, it was one of the first pieces of handheld technology, sort of a futile thing. It had this weird feature where it could communicate with other Palm Pilots, but we never knew why, and you always felt kind of stupid doing it, but you would have to do it if you knew somebody with a Palm Pilot. Do you want to do the thing? Is it doing it? Yup, they're talking to each other. About what? I don't know. Machine stuff. No, they're not. It's just a feature no one uses. Why you gotta ruin everything? Look, they're done. Yay. So, but the Palm Pilots went away. They became extinct. And it was just part of the evolution to the technological clusterfuck that we find ourselves in the center of now, just happily codependent to a bunch of smarter machines, just gleefully enabling the singularity, just looking forward to a day where we'll just be the fleshy appendage of a series of smarter equipment than us. Ah, how convenient that'll be. Too dark? I can go another way. I think if most of us, if we lost our cell phone, you're like 2 hours away from wandering the street saying, what's my name? Where do I live? I have a family, but I don't know how to get in touch with them or where they are anymore. Are you okay, old man? Do you need to go to the hospital? No, son. I've lost my phone. Would you like me to call it for you, old man? Yes, please. Thank you, son. What's the number, old man? I don't know. I don't call myself. It's in the phone. Oh, no. Yeah, take me to the hospital. There was a time, folks, before cell phones and the internet. Yeah, some of you remember. I saw the audience. Back then, people had to do things like wait. Yeah, you had to wait for stuff. And if you were actually waiting, like in line or something, that was all you could do. Did you feel all that space I created? That used to be around us all the time. There was all this space that wasn't mental space. I mean, you had to wait to check for your messages at the end of an entire day. Like if you couldn't get calls at work, there was no way anyone could get in touch with you. And at the end of the day, sometimes 6 or 7 at night, you would go home, look at a machine on your kitchen counter to see if a light was blinking. And if it was, you'd actually feel a tangible jolt of excitement. Oh, message, someone called. And then you push a button, and like 8 out of 10 times it would be, nah, 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 nah. Some of you don't even know what that sound is. Does that sound even exist in nature anymore? That was a sound on your machine if someone had hung up. Right? And if it went on long enough, you'd hear a voice go, if you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try. What happened to that guy? I don't know. Can't be a good story. And then if you got some of those, you'd spend like 10 minutes just wondering, like, who called me and hung up? That was the kind of mental time we had back then. Like, what were we doing with all that mental space, using our imagination, just letting our memories do what they do in their own time and pace? Like, back then, if you couldn't remember something, that was sort of the end of it. Unless, like, you couldn't remember something and you locked on, that was problematic, because what could you do then? Yeah, not easy. Like, let's say you're just driving to work. This is back in the day. Let's go there now. You're just driving to work, maybe listening to a cassette in your in-dash player through some Jensen coaxials or triaxial speakers. If you had a lot to prove, you had a power amp bolted onto the floor. Maybe you're listening to a little Lynyrd Skynyrd Second Helping. Not a bad band. Stop judging that band. Solid rock band. A lot of good records. Amazing double live album. You're misunderstanding that one song. Listen to it again. Listen to it again. Maybe you're listening to a little Skynyrd Second Helping. You know exactly where the tape is fucked up from that day it got stuck in the machine. That was a tough few minutes. Oh, shit. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, yeah. Get it out, get the pen out, roll that cassette back up, pop it back in the deck. Now you know, call me the breeze, baby. Oh, that was that day. That was a terrible morning. So you're just driving to work, enjoying the music, no cell phone to distract you, no internet. Maybe you're just eating some trail mix on your way to work. I actually am old enough to remember when it became okay to eat trail mix in a non-camping situation. Like, there was definitely a period in my childhood where you only saw trail mix in the camping section at the sporting goods store. And then I remember vaguely seeing a guy just eating trail mix in Life. And I'm like, dude, can you do that? Like, what? Just eat trail mix outside of a camping situation? Yeah, it's just, nuts and dried fruit, sometimes chocolate. But you're not camping. It doesn't matter. It's just nuts and fruit, sometimes chocolate. So you can just eat it any time? Yeah, you can eat it any time. Like, I kind of remember when they freed the trail mix. I don't know if there was a corporate push behind it or not, but I remember, like, hey, we can just eat this anytime. It's just, nuts and dried fruit, sometimes chocolate. So anyways, you're driving to work back in the day.